As a wise man once said, having sex with somebody who is awake will have more freedom, more feelings, and will be a lot deeper than in comparison to a couple who have been married for 60 years. And I believe this too. It's completely fine to have sex if you're not materialistic, especially to have children or to have fun in a natural way, and it is natural. The reason everything, as you can see around you, is so sexualized in cities especially, and the system, is because people are asleep, easily fall for it, meaning that sex can very easily overtake your mind, and it can become one of the main goals or the things you want to achieve, as in a man wants to sleep with a lot of women, and women with a lot of men to get some self-worth, the typical things. Attraction is very similar to beauty. There's also a natural attraction. That is, if you don't cross the line of deformed, as I explained in my video Beauty, but also conditioned in many ways. Which would also include a lot of clothes and just all the stuff in the media. I'm not even going to mention it. And also, just like it is with beauty, none of it matters when it comes to love, because this connection you form that is completely beyond the physical. So it does not matter what you look like. You will get aroused when you see this somebody naked, just because of this spiritual bond that is there. It's hard for me to see the big deal, because I would most of the time rather choose to listen to music, for example. The problem, one of the main ones, is that the reason people see it as such a big deal is that, for one thing, we always have our genitals covered. That is a problem because, and we even had somebody explain this at school in the class, I remember, many years ago, that when a woman, for a man, has covered her genital parts, it will seem a lot more interesting, so to say, to the man, and vice versa, just because it's covered. If we all walked around inside where it's warm enough, or in summer, naked, we would at least reduce this idea of sex being so important to 50%, I would assume. And nowadays it's even censored in the media, the genital part, as if it was something offensive, many say. It creates a real blockage, conditions you, it's brainwash, what is happening. It shouldn't be this way. So you have that, a lot more things, then you throw in some insecurities, and then you have what you have nowadays. Some kind of robotic sex. It's robot sex. How can that seem appealing to most people? But robots attract robots. However, I cannot imagine that it seems very fascinating or anything like that to people who are beyond it. There's a saying, make love, to make love, as if that implying to be sexual intercourse, as if when you have that nowadays, that has something to do with love. I highly doubt that when people have sex nowadays that there's love involved most of the time, especially in the city. Love, sex is only one way to express love. It is a way, but it doesn't mean that when you have sex it has necessarily something to do with love. The point is, don't let your body control your life. Being a virgin nowadays means being innocent and pure. But if you say innocent, then what would you be guilty of? Doing something completely natural? This idea is usually used in religions nowadays, so a lot of religious people follow it. The problem is that spirituality is destroyed by religions in many ways nowadays, so it's really quite useless. The thing is that somebody who is awake will not spend much thought on materialistic things anyway. It would come naturally, so to say. So it's understandable why they would possibly save themselves up for somebody special, whatever that means to you. However, when you do this to religious people and people get conditioned to follow this kind of rule, they will get sexually frustrated. And that's why it's done. One of the reasons. And especially if you live in a city, you will just end up thinking about sex a lot. And if you do want to stay pure, that would mean having no sexual intercourse, nothing sexual with anybody whatsoever, whereas many believe nowadays that it's only penetrative sex for whatever reason, but that wouldn't make you very pure. This is a mental state anyway. There's no sign, and you don't get some marking from God because you go against His will. You won't get some burned mark after you have sex. So what I also want to talk about is marriage. Marriage doesn't exist, just to say the obvious. Marriage is an idea, so it's in your head. Of course, you also sign papers and you go through some procedure, and then you see symbols on a paper which you've been taught that have some meaning, which would be the language. So you sign it, and that has some meaning to you, which it doesn't in nature, because there's no such thing as marriage in nature. But it's done in the system, and of course people don't get married because they love each other nowadays. It's done for money, and because some people want to live in some countries, and many reasons. If you want to stay together with somebody, you don't have to create a fictional bond. You can just be together. But the reason I want to mention is because I find it quite funny, because talking about virginity, when many people save themselves up, save their virginity for marriage, seeing as there's no such thing as marriage, you really save yourself up for no reason. It's like having sex with anybody else, with your wife or your husband, except of course that you have possibly chosen this somebody to share this intimacy with. That doesn't change. But as far as marriage goes, you've done it just like you could have done it with anybody. So it is okay.